On February 16, 2026, Islamabad awoke to a chilling ultimatum. Washington delivers ultimatum: align with us or face economic isolation. The message was clear. Pakistan could no longer balance its ties between the US and China. Inside the Prime Minister's secretariat, anxiety was palpable as senior officials gathered to confront the new reality. For years, Pakistan had walked a diplomatic tightrope, leveraging its strategic partnership with Washington and its deepening alliance with Beijing. But this headline signaled the end of that era. News channels buzzed with speculation, while the public, already burdened by economic woes, watched with apprehension. The question on everyone's mind: what would Pakistan do? The choice was stark, each path fraught with risk and opportunity. Pakistan's foreign policy, once defined by pragmatism and shifting allegiances, now faced a defining test. The nation stood at a crossroads, caught between two global powers whose rivalry had finally reached its doorstep. The tremors of this ultimatum were just beginning. The leadership knew whatever decision they made would shape the country's destiny for years to come. The world was watching, and the stakes had never been higher. Pakistan's ties with the US are a saga of highs and lows: military aid, economic support, and deep mistrust. The alliance peaked after 9/11, but was always transactional, marked by suspicion and resentment. In contrast, China's relationship is steady and strategic, forged by shared interests and a policy of non-interference. Beijing has provided diplomatic cover, military technology, and consistent support, especially when Western ties soured. The US partnership feels conditional and demanding. China's reliable and respectful. The American eagle offers power but with sharp talons. The Chinese dragon, a protective embrace. For Pakistan, these relationships are not just about foreign policy. They shape its security, economy, and sense of national identity. The contrast is stark, and the stakes are real. Choosing between them is no longer theoretical. It's a matter of survival. The US is a vital economic partner. Its markets fuel Pakistan's textile industry, and its influence over the IMF and World Bank is a financial lifeline. Losing American goodwill would devastate exports and block access to global finance. China's impact is visible in infrastructure, highways, power plants, and the Gwadar port, all part of the China-Pakistan economic corridor. These projects promise modernization and regional connectivity, transforming Pakistan's economic landscape. China is also Pakistan's key military partner, supplying jets, ships, and technology when Western support falters. The JF-17 fighter jets and Chinese-built naval assets are now central to Pakistan's defense. For Islamabad, the US means access to global markets and finance. China means infrastructure, security, and a vision for the future. Both are indispensable, but their support comes with different expectations and consequences. The dilemma is not just diplomatic, it's woven into the fabric of daily life and national security. Every decision reverberates from factory floors to military bases. The stakes are not abstract, they're measured in jobs, stability, and sovereignty. Pakistan's future hinges on how it navigates these competing interests. The margin for error is razor thin. The US offers Pakistan advanced military technology, elite training, and access to the world's largest consumer market. American trade supports millions of jobs and brings investment, innovation, and integration into global supply chains. Politically, alignment with Washington means a seat at the global table, diplomatic leverage, and a voice in international forums. US backing can moderate global pressure, especially in regional disputes. The American connection also opens doors to educational exchanges and cultural influence, shaping future leaders and aspirations. This relationship is about more than aid. It's about legitimacy, modernization, and global connectivity. Yet it comes with scrutiny and demands for reform, often clashing with Pakistan's domestic realities. The US offers a powerful but conditional partnership. For Pakistan, the benefits are immense, but so are the expectations. The challenge is to extract value without losing autonomy. The American offer is tempting, but the price is high. The question: can Pakistan afford the cost of saying yes or no? China's promise is tangible. Billions invested in energy, roads, and ports through CPEC, fueling jobs and industrial growth. Beijing's military support is reliable and unconditional, providing hardware without political strings. China shields Pakistan diplomatically, especially at the UN, and offers a model of partnership based on non-interference. This Iron Brotherhood is seen as respectful and pragmatic, focused on results, not lectures. For Pakistan, China is a steadfast ally in times of crisis and a partner in long-term development. The Chinese approach is attractive: build, invest, support, no questions asked. It's a vision of progress led by Asian powers, free from Western pressure. But this embrace comes with its own risks: dependency and limited global reach. If Pakistan pivots to the US, the fallout with China would be immediate and severe. CPEC projects would stall, Chinese investment would vanish, and thousands of jobs would be lost. Military support from Beijing would end, leaving Pakistan exposed and isolated in a volatile region. Diplomatic protection at the UN would disappear, weakening Pakistan's stance on issues like Kashmir. Domestically, a pro-US shift would spark backlash. Anti-American sentiment runs deep, and the government's legitimacy could be threatened. The military and political elite, long aligned with China, would resist. Embracing Washington also means inheriting its rivalries, turning Pakistan into a frontline state in a new great power conflict. Instead of being a bridge, Pakistan risks becoming a battleground. The economic and strategic costs would be enormous. The risk of instability, both at home and in the region, would rise sharply. The price of choosing the eagle could be more than Pakistan can bear. Rejecting the US and siding with China would trigger Western sanctions, crippling Pakistan's exports and plunging the economy into crisis. Access to global finance would be cut off, risking default and deep recession. China might help, but can't replace the entire Western-led financial system. The military would lose access to American technology and training, creating dangerous gaps in defense. Diplomatic isolation would follow, with Pakistan labeled as part of an authoritarian bloc. Influence in Western capitals and forums would evaporate, leaving Pakistan dependent on Beijing's priorities. The country would trade its pivotal status for that of a junior partner. Foreign policy options would shrink, and sovereignty would be compromised. The dragon's embrace is warm, but it can also be constricting. The only rational path may be to keep balancing, delaying a definitive choice while managing both relationships. Diplomats would work to ease US pressure, offering cooperation without severing ties with China. Concessions on counterterrorism or regional stability could buy time with Washington. Simultaneously, Islamabad would reassure Beijing, accelerating CPEC projects and emphasizing the unbreakable partnership. The message: Pakistan is a bridge, not a proxy. This strategy of ambiguity keeps both powers invested in Pakistan's stability. It's a high-wire act requiring skill and luck, but it's the only way to avoid catastrophe. In this new era of rivalry, survival depends on staying in the middle. Pakistan stands at a historic crossroads. Its choice will define its identity, economy, and future. The West offers markets and technology, but at the cost of its most reliable ally. The East promises support and development, but risks isolation. The balancing act that once served Pakistan is now a source of immense pressure. The decision will be shaped by trust in China, resentment of US demands, and the hard realities of economics and security. The leadership must weigh concrete benefits against intangible influence. The headline that shook Islamabad is a summons to choose a path in a world remade by great power rivalry. Whether Pakistan can keep walking the tightrope or is forced to leap will determine the fate of millions. The world is watching. What Pakistan decides will echo far beyond its borders.